So there's the tfight 300. There is the 305 tfight, the Daniil Medvedev stick, and the TF40 305, the anniversary tennis racket. Three fantastic rackets from Tecnifibre are here. So let's talk about them for a while, shall we? Yeah. So hello tennis guys and welcome to my channel. So these three rackets from Tecnifibre are probably the most wanted rackets right now from this French company, and sadly I don't have the IGA racket here, the Tempo 298 IGA, but I think these three rackets are pretty enough. They are the pretty complete package for today's modern style of tennis. So guys, let me start with the tfight series, with the tfight 300. So where are you, tfight 300? So I've tested all of these three rackets many months ago, let's say. So I don't have actually the footage, so I will be talking about these rackets from the perspective of my, let's say, memories on the court. And thanks to the Tecnifibre who sent me these rackets for a young player who asked me for these rackets. He wants to test these rackets, so finally they are here and I can describe and talk about these in much more detail right now. So the tfight series, you might be thinking it's the ultimate series for the modern competition oriented player, but thanks to the few of the new technologies that are injected in the tfight series, these rackets are, let's say, suitable for a wide variety of players, for the intermediate and advanced and professional, or let's say expert players. So I'll be talking about at first about the 300 version, which is not the lightest version in the series because we have the lighter versions, but it's the first version that comes with the 630 square centimeters head size, or with the 98 square inches head size. So this racket is for someone who is seeking control, precision, yet who wants quite enough free power. So let's go to the specs. The tfight 300 gram frame, the head size, as I said, 98 square inches or 630 square centimeters. The balance is 320 millimeters, so it's pretty usual for this weight, the 320, and particularly for this model you will feel that the racket feels quite light. The RA, the stiffness, that is something people are following more and more in today's market of the tennis rackets. Even amateurs are asking for the RA, for the stiffness, how stiff the rackets are. So this is a medium stiff racket according to, and I'm talking about these specifications are taken from Tennis Warehouse Europe website, and I completed them with a tennisexpress.com parameters of the stiffness and the swing weight, because they sometimes vary. They are sometimes different compared to the Tennis Warehouse. So 66 or 65 RA for this racket, so medium stiffness, not a stiff racket at all. I think that the 65 RA is possibly the best option for someone who is seeking for firm but still plush feel, or let's say plush but still firm feel. So the medium stiffness is probably for me the best possible stiffness. Now the swing weight, 320 or 321, let's say, so around 320. I would say it's great for juniors, great also for advanced women. So I believe this is the racket I would choose from the tfight series, from all the rackets, because it fits all the spots I want. Then the beam, it is a constant beam, 22.5 millimeters. So 22.5 millimeters, I think that's a nice blend of control-oriented frame with the half extra millimeter, or let's say 1 centimeter more towards the free power. And then there is the string pattern, is the 16 by 19, so a nice wide opened string pattern for the easy access to the spin. And I completed the specifications with the recommended tension by Tecnifibre, so it's 22 up to 25 kilos or 49 up to 55 pounds. So now when we have the specs, let's talk about the look of this racket. So the Tecnifibre is known for the wide designs, and they are great. They look really, I think on pictures, on photos, they might look like the white color doesn't really fit the tennis industry, maybe, but you know that white color was always there in the tennis industry. So imagine back in the days where tennis players were using white clothes on all of the tournaments. I mean, the era of, you know, maybe still John McEnroe or these players, these older veterans of the game, they were playing in more in a white colored shirts, shorts, bands, and so on. And imagine in that day if they had white rackets like this, it would be just fantastic. I would love to see Wimbledon 1975, let's say, final, when they play all in white with white rackets. It would be just fantastic. So the design is really unique and special, and I believe that only maybe Solinko is mimicking the white color designs of tennis rackets with their white out series. And now to the technological things about the tfight series. So the first thing you notice is, let's say, this kind of unusual shaped frame or the beam. So it is called the RS section, and the RS section is mixing together the elliptical beam with the boxed beam, or the, let's say, rectangular beam. So it's a beam that is not oval but is mixed. It has these edges, so it's a mix between control, precision, and free power. Now, completely new for the tfight series is the ISOFlex technology. It is right here, and it's the highlight of this series. So the ISOFlex has been introduced for the very first time in the TFX1 rackets. So I love those rackets. I think they are great for intermediate and even advanced players who want a fast swinging whippy racket with massive sweet spot, massive power, massive spin. So the Isoflex technology are these grommets that you can see from the outside, that they are, let's say, wider. They go outside of the beam and they have these holes in the plastic material. And what does it do to the string? So when you hit the ball, so the string goes like this inside, it compresses, and also this material, the grommets from the outside, they compress and they are pulled just a little bit more inside to the frame, because you know this material is more flexible thanks to the holes. So it's nothing really actually special. It's a matter of it's a kind of a design feature that helps to the grommets to flex more. So when the grommets flex more, also the strings flex more. They are pulled inside and the trampoline effect is bigger. It also helps the ball to stay on the strings longer, so the dwell time is longer. All of this turns into more spin potential, more free power, and eventually also more feel. So I think it's an easy technology that any company can actually mimic very easily, like this. So it's nothing hidden inside the frame. It's there, it's simple, and I'm really surprised nobody actually think about it before. Maybe the negative of this is that these grommets will damage more compared to the other grommets that are filled. So you can see that these grommets down here, they are normal, but these Isoflex grommets are, let's say, more fragile. And you might be thinking, why these grommets are only on this spot, not all over the head? It's easy, because in this place there's the sweet spot, guys. So in this place where are you hitting the ball is the sweet spot. So right there, when you hit the ball, the Isoflex grommets come to the function. And you can see that the Isoflex grommets are also there, so it is connected. So this center part is also enhanced with the Isoflex grommets. One thing to the grommets is that the holes for the strings, so as you can see, they are really small, so the string really fits into the hole, and the grommet itself kind of holds the string in the position, so it helps to gain more control and precision. And there is one more thing that is really kind of unique for tennis rackets and for the industry, and that's the foam inside the frame or inside the head on a specific positions. This helps the racket to gain, I would say, interesting feel, plush, very plush feel. Also connection to the ball feels kind of more natural. You don't really feel the harsh vibrations. Maybe for someone this is a disadvantage, but when I tested these rackets, it was a completely different experience compared to the other frames. So I really enjoyed the kind of plusher and easier feel with these rackets. So the tfight 300 is actually a perfect racket for intermediate and advanced players, even some tournament-oriented players, for women, for juniors who want the extra precision with the smaller head size, but again, loads of kind of free power, nice plush feel, nothing really harsh coming from this racket. So I believe it's one of the greatest options in the 300 gram market of the rackets. So guys, there you have the tfight 300. So let's jump to the Daniil Medvedev weapon of choice. So
you can't be serious, man.
I will not talk about the, sorry, there's the TF40. I will not talk about the same, let's say, technologies. I will just talk about the differences in the specification. So obviously this is a 305 gram racket. And you might be thinking, oh, extra 5 grams, there's nothing really different about this racket. But the next thing comes to the play, and that's the balance. So the balance for this 305 gram racket is 325. So it's 5 millimeters more to the head compared to the lighter version. And this translates into a massive increase in swing weight. And when I'm talking massive, it's, sorry guys, I need to switch to the next sheet where I have the specs written. So when I talk about the increased swing weight, according to Tennis Warehouse, this racket has swing weight of 338 swing weight points. That's crazy for a 305 gram racket. But according to Tennis Express, it's only 328. So there is a 10-point difference between the swing weight measured by Tennis Warehouse Europe and Tennis Express. So I think, according to my numbers, this racket has swing weight of around 331, 333 in a, let's say, on an average. So when you pick up like 100 rackets and you measure the swing weight, it will be on average about 331 or 333. So that's a very high swing weight, and this racket, guys, is super stable thanks to this high swing weight. It has super high plow through or massive plow through, but you will definitely feel it on the court when you play a long match. So I would not recommend it right away for someone who is on the intermediate level. Maybe for someone who has really the power to grab the racket and hit with it for a long period of time. But for example, for me, the racket is just too much. It's too much. So everything above, let's say, 330 swing weight is really meant for someone who knows how to swing, who has perfect technique, who is very well developed, and yeah, you really need to have the fluidity in your shots to not to get, let's say, overwhelmed by the high swing weight of the racket. The RA, the stiffness is 64 or 65. The beam is also 22.5 millimeters constant beam. But the difference compared to the 300 version, and it's a 305 specific string pattern, it's 18 by 19. So we have 18 mains and 19 crosses. So there are 2 extra main strings for that extra precision. And I believe this string pattern is kind of underappreciated in today's tennis. So I don't know why not other companies are doing the rackets with the 18 by 19 string pattern, because it really blends nicely the precision and also the free power and the access to spin, and it really works great. But I would recommend this racket based on the overall swing weight and the difficulties that comes with the racket that has this high swing weight, to someone who really has the power, has the technique, and knows how to swing. So let's say the tfight 305 is the most demanding 305 gram racket on the market, without a doubt. There is no other 305 gram racket that has similar or that high swing weight. Maybe you might be thinking about the Gravity Pro and so on, but guys, this is a 305 gram racket, not a 310 gram racket or 315 gram racket. So you might be thinking 305 is okay, it's light, it's easy. No. It's super hard. It's super difficult to play with this racket. So I noticed that this particular version or this model is the best seller from Tecnifibre. But I believe and I know that most of the people who are buying these rackets will at some point sell the racket because they will find out that this racket is kind of too much. So this racket feels and plays rather like a proper player's stick that has weight of 320 or 330 gram. So guys, it's not easy to hit with the racket. It's a fantastic experience, but yeah, for me it's like a 1 hour experience, and then I'm super tired and I can't really control the racket. But anyway, great stick for I would say tournament and expert players. And now let's jump to the TF40. That's the hidden gem. That's the racket that people are kind of not talking about. They kind of think, oh, TF40, that's nothing really special. But this racket, guys, the TF40, and it's the 16M version, the 16x19 version, is probably the pinnacle of the control-oriented rackets from Tecnifibre. So when you look at the catalog from Tecnifibre, they actually call, or they actually think about the TF series, the TF40 series, the anniversary series, which has been released first in 2019, when Tecnifibre was celebrating 40 years on the market. So Tecnifibre is actually now pretty old company. It's not that old like the other companies, but it has been here for over 40 years. So when I was born, the company was there, guys. So I'm 39. Now this is over 40 years. So the company was already there in how long is that? 1980, maybe 1980, around 1980 this company was established. So guys, over 40 years now. So back to the racket. So the TF40, according to Tecnifibre, is meant for advanced and expert players. They are kind of missing the intermediate, so the beginning, where you should begin with this racket when you are on advanced level, compared to the tfight series, where you can kind of hit with the rackets when you are on an intermediate level. So the TF40 rackets are meant for someone who is really playing on the highest possible level. And the reasons for that are here. So let's go through the specs. So 305 gram racket, 630 square centimeters or 98 square inches, head size, 325 balance. So it's the same like the 305 gram version of the tfight, but there are differences in the swing weight. But let's talk about the stiffness, 64 RA. So like I said before, it's a medium stiff, a little bit less stiff than the tfight series, just 1 or 2 points. So more flexible, more control, more feel. But the swing weight is only 321 or 320. So it is as easy to hit with as the 300 gram version of the tfight, which is surprising maybe, but You know, when you want a racket that you can swing fast all day long, you need to have the swing weight a little bit lower. Now the beam is 22 millimeters, constant. So it's a more control-oriented beam compared to the tfight rackets. String pattern is 16 by 19, nice blend of spin and easy power, and the recommended tension is 22 up to 25 kilos or 49 up to 55 pounds. I will jump back to the 305 racket where the recommended tension is a little bit higher. It's, I believe, 23 and 25 kilos and 50 or 55 pounds. So just 1 kilo at the beginning. You should begin at the 1 kilo more with the tfight 305. The biggest difference for this racket compared to the tfight series is the shape of the frame and the throat. So the shape of the frame is boxed, is rectangular. It is called RS sharp section, not RS section, but RS sharp. It means that the beam has edges, and this translates once again in more control, more precision, more feel. It's just a more classic racket, okay? More classic racket like from the past. Also the throat section feels, and it is actually a little bit longer here once again for more feel. Big difference is in the grommets, because these grommets have big holes so the strings can move more freely. There is no ISO technology, the ISOFlex technology, but there is the foam inside like with the tfight series, so the racket will feel nice and plush. So the outside of the grommets looks interesting with this kind of bumper also in this lower position. And yeah, so the good thing is they make also the TF40 with the 18 by 20 string pattern, the 18M version. So you can choose whether you want 305 16 by 19 or 305 18 by 20, and that's great. I think more companies should follow this. They should make same weighted rackets but with different string patterns, maybe even 3 different string patterns like 18 by 19 and so on and so on. So you can really choose what do you want, if you want that extra precision or if you want that extra feel. But this shows that the TF40 is really the ultimate control-oriented racket for the classic feel, for the highest precision if you grab the 18 by 20 string pattern, because when they give you this option to choose from these 2 string patterns, they are really kind of focusing more on the advanced and tournament oriented players rather than with the tfight series for the more free power, easier approach and easier feeling on the court. So guys, there you have this kind of comparison, which might feel surprising for some of you, that you might be thinking the tfight is the ultimate racket, but actually the TF40 is the ultimate control oriented racket for players who are a little bit into the classic style of game, let's say. So guys, let me know in the comments what do you think about these beautiful rackets from Tecnifibre. I think they are one of the best options right now on the market, and I would probably go with the 300 gram tfight nowadays, because when I've hit with the racket, it was such a joy to play with the racket. So easy, so much free power, but yet great control, great precision. And I like the lighter factor into the racket. And when I play with the Daniil Medvedev 305 gram racket, massive. Everything feels massive, yet kind of responsive because of the Isoflex technology. The string pattern and everything feels, it's kind of mixing together the free power, the spin, the precision, the feedback is great. So I really can't recommend enough the 305 for someone who is willing to drag lots of plow through and lots of stability and the overall mass. And then the TF40 is a special racket. It's an anniversary racket. They really took the best of the previous generations of the Tecnifibre. And by the way, one thing I forgot to mention is the composition of the frame. So the tfight series, the tfight rackets are made of the Dynacore HD material combined with the graphite, but the TF40 is made with the Dynacore XTC. So the XTC is the older technology for the Tecnifibre company. I'm familiar with the technology because I've been playing with the older tfight racket and with the XTC generation. And the XTC Dynacore material feels crisper, cleaner, kind of more raw compared to the plusher new Dynacore HD material. So it also makes sense that the more control-oriented racket, the more kind of, the more classic feel into it. Nothing really that mutes the feedback, although there is the foam inside, so it's a little bit more muted compared to the older frame. So guys, there you have it. Comparison of these three fantastic rackets. I think you should hit at least with one of them to try it. So I recommend all of three just to try, or at least the tfight 300 and the TF40 305 16x19. Just hit with them, try them, demo them, because they are great, they look great, and they are not that expensive also. That's the good thing about Tecnifibre frames, that they are still maintaining kind of the acceptable price. So guys, we are at the end of the video. If you like it, just support me by doing these three things, any of these three things. Or you can just write me a comment. You can just share the video. You can support me by clicking the super thanks button. You can use the option to buy me a coffee, and you can also donate me some of your love through the PayPal, and you can ask me any question you want through these donations, and it is guaranteed that I will reply to you as best as I can, because if you donate me something, I need to give it back also to you guys. So guys, that's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, enjoy tennis, play tennis every time, every day, and don't forget to enjoy the manooovrlbity. Bye guys.
You can't be serious, man. You cannot be serious! That ball was on the line.